This is a Headgum podcast.
I liked mean teachers. I don't know if I'd like it if my employment hung in the balance.
I think once it's done, like now we're like trained and we're past it, it's okay. But maybe in the training you need a Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. I do like that in the training.
I think you need that in the training a little bit. You need to be like a little down and dirty, like get your dick kicked in the dirt a little bit.
That's one thing where I think to learn acting later when you have, frankly, self-worth could be tough. I think learning things as you get older can be tough because people go, okay, I see what you're saying. Like sometimes to learn, you have to like accept radically.
This is interesting. I just got a new acting teacher. Are we recording already?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've had an acting teacher for many, many years. She's very practical. I still work with her. Then I got a vocal coach to get my voice because I needed to do an accent for something. Learned a whole other thing. Now I've got another acting teacher, so now I have three. And the third one is like all the bullshit theory stuff that I would have been too scared to learn. You know, like see with your stomach, feel with your liver, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I absolutely love it because now I'm ready for like, let's get stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Like really theoretical stuff. I love it. But she said, she's like, it's easier to learn acting when you're not strong. Once you have strength, it gets harder. She said it's easier to learn if you're like really vulnerable and weak or whatever that means. And then once you become more once you become more confident and strong, it actually gets harder to learn acting, which is what you're saying.
It was. I did a circle in the square. This is like Strasbourg, like real feeling stuff.
Love that shit.
I did too, and I wanted I wanted to be there for it. And it was like an old teacher. She had holes in her shoes so they could breathe better. So old she'd fall asleep in class.
What is it about acting teachers that hate shoes? They don't want shoes.
No. Yeah, but it made you think like, oh, this person knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
they know something about footwear that we don't know.
Yeah.
And it was one of these, I mean, she'd have you go up one by one and 2 students per class. It was torture. And she would just ask you questions and you would try to answer openly. And I always talked about my life. I always had no qualms of talking about my life. So like it was like your parents, and I told about my parents and their flaws and my shortcomings and all these things. And at the end she was like, okay, that wasn't great. You can sit down. And I was like, oh my God. And then, she'd get some kid up there who never done therapy, never said an ill word about their father. And they'd be like, my dad, he can be angry. And it was like, wow, look at that. And it was so frustrating because I was like, well, what the fuck?
Were you too processed for it? Is that what it was?
I remember thinking, though, that when I was doing that, I remember we had to do these monologues and they would like coach us during the monologues. And the point was they wanted us to cry and to get angry. And I remember being like, this one kid went up and they're questioning through the thing, and it was revealed like he had lost a brother to cancer, and that was a real thing. And so he's like, and I was like, I'm never gonna be able to do that.
That's
like,
so unfair.
I haven't had the life experience of like, I was like, and then me being up like, she didn't want to go to prom with me. Like,
trying
to do some sort of equivalent of my very limited life experience at the time. You know,
I mean, that does happen. Well, the other thing I've learned that happens if you have like a traumatic thing, you use it for acting. You can use it too much, and then it starts to like scab over.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what somebody had a theory that older actors who are like method like that start to get less good because they've been like revisiting their memories over and over. And each time you revisit your memory, you're like resaving it.
Yeah.
Each time it becomes like a Xerox. It's like multiplicity. Each time it gets a little bit less potent.
Yeah. Are you right now? If you had to cry for something, what do you think you're going to, a memory or a made-up thing?
Made-up thing now.
Made-up thing?
Because I did the memory thing once. I mean, I've done it a bunch of times.
It was too powerful.
One time I was just like, it was 2 things. One, I felt like it's a disservice to my relationship with this person.
Oh, interesting.
I felt like they deserve better than me using them for something. That's how I felt, and I don't need to feel that. Also, now I feel like, ideally, I can get into the character's circumstance enough that I don't need to think of, something traumatic from my life. That said, I do have the things in my head that I'm like, oh, if shit's not working, I can go to this for this, you know?
So in Oh Mary, when you look at the guy's ass and you have a moment of like, oh boy.
Oh, that's my wife over there.
that's
No. I just like the guy's ass. I'm not doing a made up. I'm like, oh, that's a good ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, you know. So in Oh Mary, there's a bunch of. It took me a little bit to realize it's the most basic lesson, where I'm like, when I'm like trying to like seduce my assistant or whatever it is, I was trying to get a laugh and it wasn't working, and then I was like, I just have to really try and seduce him, and then it started being funny, which is obvious, you know, the ask for the sugar thing or whatever. Do you know that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The from Studio 60. You ever see that show?
I saw that show.
Yeah, it's a crazy show.
Yeah.
That's the one where he says, Dad, they're called sketches, not skits. And he's like, well, your brother's in Afghanistan serving this country. And like they pepper in little moments. And again, I hate when acting's portrayed. We were talking about the new George Clooney movie, and it's hearing, but they had one moment where it's like, what's his name? He died recently. Matthew Perry goes, well, the first time you asked for the laugh, this time you asked for the laugh. First time, you asked for the butter.
Yeah,
And
that's yeah.
And everyone at home goes, moms go to their kids, I understand your career.
The trick with that, especially with comedy, like that versus like something like, and I like Studio 60, and I mean, Aaron Sorkin's obviously a fucking genius. You can't set something up to be like, this is genius comedy, and then you watch it, and it's never gonna be.
I know.
That.
It's never going to be.
Yeah.
30 Rock understood.
Yes.
This is a terrible, bad show.
Yes.
And that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
funny to watch. Same with like when we made The Big Sick, it was like, we didn't want to ever be like, this guy's killing right now or this guy's bombing right now. We recorded the sets for real in front of the background.
And you're using real material.
Real material.
That's
and we
the key.
told them react as you would react.
that's the key.
So sometimes they laugh and sometimes they don't laugh. We did not tell them. The only time I did was Kurt Braunohler, who opened for me on the road for this tour, who's super funny. He's not supposed to be funny. And he would go out and do material and he was like killing. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry to say this. You can't be killing. It's gotta, and he's like, okay, because even him like writing stupid material was really funny, and the audience loved him.
You ever see the Eminem behind the scenes 8 Mile? It's so cool, where he was losing his voice, but they needed to do shoots of him battling people, so they would rap, and he got like real rappers, and then he would just go like this. And they would like, you know, be for B-roll or whatever. But then the audience was supposed to be going like, oh, even if he wasn't saying anything. Then the extras stopped like getting into it. And so Eminem was like, oh, I guess it wasn't on. And he starts rapping for real and just destroys. And it's like just such a cool.
That's great.
Cool artist moment.
That's interesting because that's like, you know, that's like competitive comedy or whatever it is. You really have to like bring it.
I like competitive comedy. Not always.
Like, what do you mean competitive comedy? What's the situation?
I think there are moments in a comedian's growth or trajectory where being brutally like, I'm going to kill the hardest right now is important. And then beyond that, you can escape, you can leave. But I had like 1 year where I did like the competitions, and I had a good year. And I was I felt like an athlete, or I felt like a competitor. And it's good to have that, so you understand what it is to just kill.
I think that is very essential in stand-up comedy. Like, I could be your best friend, but my job right now going up before you is to make you quit comedy. Like, I crush so hard that you're like, oh, I can't do that. I think that's still true. That doesn't mean off stage. What I don't like is the mind games off stage and shit. Or like, all that stuff I don't like. But when you're on stage, your job is to do the best out of anybody. That's not true in sketch or in improv or in acting, even in funny. Like, my job in a scene with you guys is, I see it, it's my job is to make you guys funnier. But your job is to make me funnier.
That's why I think I gravitated towards stand-up. All my improv feedback.
You want to slit some throats.
Yeah. If it's not a good thing. This is not like a brag. It's more like in a scene.
No, we know
if
that.
someone's like Russell's incredible, but like if I'm in a thing with Russell, there's a voice that's going the whole time like, God, he's so funny right now. I'm not matching. Like, I just go. It's like he's better. I'm just comparing the whole time.
Interesting.
And like with stand up, there's nothing
You don't have to
for
compare.
me to compare it to.
Nobody can say anything.
Yeah.
And it frees me. I'm not saying it's good or
Yeah.
like healthy. It's just what my brain
But
does.
to me, doing O'Mary was also great exercise in that, which is a lesson I'd already learned and been like, my job is not to be funnier than you in a scene. My job is to make you funnier. In that show, I'm a lot of my stuff is the straight man. Like whenever I'm with her, whenever I'm with Mary, it's all
he's
setups.
pretending to be straight the whole show.
He's pretending to be straight the whole show. That's right.
Yeah.
So every time I would take pride in setting her up right for the laugh. Like I knew this is her scene. She's going to get all the laughs. But if our laugh of hers, if she doesn't get a big laugh, I'm like, what did I do wrong to not set her up for this moment? Because that is straight man's job, is to set them up for it. And I learned a lot doing that, and also like putting ego aside and stuff. But I honestly, I've learned over the years, like the things that make me anxious, like trying to beat someone in a scene, I don't want to have that in my life anymore. I feel I'm much better if I'm just completely loose and have whatever it is come out of me without any goal in terms of audience reaction or scene success or whatever it is.
With stand up though, did you have that? Have you had that feeling that I'm gonna fucking
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Chicago. I spent 6 years in Chicago. So when like Montreal comes to town and there's like 12 of you on a show and you're like, maybe they pick one, you have to go and crush. You have to murder.
Yeah.
Or, we drive out to some fucking club out in the suburbs and there's like five of us and we're all like friends and we're all going up. I'm like, I want to be the one to like crush harder than all of these people.
I want the ride back to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wanted to be like, well, I thought that show sucked, but then you went up and showed that you could do it. I still have that with stand-up. Like, with stand-up, I want to like bury the next person and show the person before me that they didn't do as good a job. Still.
There's a couple people in my head. Again, I've been on the road so much recently, but there's like a couple people in my head that like I really want to go up in front of them and just murder fantasies.
Like who? You don't want
I can't say them all, but Andrew Schultz would be a good feeling.
Do you know him? Are you friends?
I know him.
Yeah. Okay. You guys,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you want to go up
We've talked ill of each other
publicly.
Yeah, enough.
Yeah,
enough, and it would feel.
I guess
really
not
good.
enough. Here we are doing it more.
It would feel really good to in a good way. In a good way.
Well, I've learned it's interesting. Like there's also pride in going up after someone who's absolutely destroyed and doing well. And I learned that when I was doing Montreal. Chris D'Elia went up before me because we did New Faces. We did 3 shows.
Friend of the pod.
And Chris would kill.
He's actually up next.
He's
the next guest.
Right after you.
They would. I'm trying to be so careful. They would mix up the order. So once I had to follow Chris, and Chris would end his set doing this like thing where it's a woman who's like talking, and she's like doing that, and he ends up doing a handstand.
They're a girl, Kumail.
Huh?
They're a girl.
They're
not
a girl.
woman yet.
Sorry, they're not a woman yet. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. He would end up doing a handstand, and people would clap so hard, their hands would bleed. It would be like a bunch of like Jesus, just like Jesus's with bleeding hands, and I had to go up after that once. And
That's such a fucking nightmare. A handstand.
he would do a handstand, and people like could not applaud more. Like it's the loudest I've ever heard. Then you go up, you have 10 minutes, and you have to go. Okay, how do I do that? And what I learned was, you really have to reset.
I
You have
always
to bring
say
it down.
The bad comic movies, you try to keep
Can't
the
do
wave
it.
going. You
Yeah.
got to let it sink and either build back up gradually, or you have an amazing line that somehow
Yeah, you either have an amazing line, a riff on that, call back to that, tag them or
you can't
something.
start here. You can't.
No, you
You're a
build it
different
up,
person.
and then the goal is by the end to be killing as hard as they were killing at the end of the set, and it's possible because I did that with Chris, and I followed Pete Holmes at the Improv not too long ago, and it was the same thing. He like murdered. Then you go up and you go, okay, I have 15 minutes. The first 5 to 6 minutes is just resetting the room, because also like after someone kills, they're like start to talk like it's in a courtroom, like new evidence vibe where people, so you have to like ride that out and then build back up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you do so much acting work now? do you look back on when you were like doing stand-up every night and you go, I was a better comic then? Do you feel like you're a better comic now? Do you have where you go, oh, am I not as sharp, or I could be sharper? Like, how do you find the balance? I have such a, not anxiety, because I do it enough still right now, but like that feeling of like, I don't ever want to not feel like I'm at the peak of my abilities.
When I was in New York, I'm older than you guys, 2007 to 2010. I was here for 2.5 years.
You're older than Russell?
Well, how old are you?
Just kidding. He's 39.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. You're the same age.
Don't.
You... Yeah, you are.
It's Gen X.
If it's like, if you're like in the 8th grade and 6th grade, 2 years is a lot. But when you're in your...
We were in high school.
When I was in middle school, he was in high school. When I was in high school, he was in college.
For 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, you guys are the exact same age. You're in the same bucket. I'm with you guys too. We're all the same age. All of us are the same age here.
Yeah.
Those 2.5 years, I was very aware in that moment that I was at the peak. I wasn't like, this is the best I'll ever be, but I was like, it's the only time in my life that I felt like I got this. I could go up in front of any crowd and do really, really, really well.
Yeah.
Once I moved to LA, you start doing other shit. It wasn't like that anymore. But those 2.5 years, I have come to peace with the fact that that is when I will be the best comedian that I will ever be as a stand-up.
Yeah.
Because, and even, I sort of was, when I started like doing stand-up again, I didn't do it for like 10 years. When I started doing it again, I got to the point where I had some material that I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I looked up stuff from back then, and I was like, no, this shit was better. Every other line was a laugh.
That's the thing. It's
really
so
sharp.
tight.
Because you write a joke, you go up that night, you rewrite it, right? A week later, you have like a 7-minute long story that crushes the entire time. I can't do that anymore, and I don't want to. Like, I have other priorities. I'm not going to be as a pure stand-up comedian as I was in those 2.5 years. I understand the feeling of wanting to hold on to it, but it's just practically, it's just not going to happen. There is some material in the new special that I think is as good as that. It's different now in that now my goal is not just to be super funny. I want to be like vulnerable on stage. I want to talk about the things I want to talk about and that kind of stuff. So I think I'm a better stand-up comedian than I was then.
Yeah.
But pure like laughs and sharpness of writing and punchlines, that was the peak.
I think because your special, by the time this comes out, your special will be out, and I watched it. But it's you make a note at the beginning to say you are not an actor who's trying stand-up. You were a stand-up.
Yeah, because and I'm fine with people, but people get upset. Like, stand-ups have this like purity thing where you're like, you're not a stand-up. So I just wanted to clarify that up top. Like,
but stand-ups know you. My girlfriend, Tovah, always said that when she started getting into comedy, we have a picture. Do you have the picture, Ty?
I know. I've met her. I know what she looks like.
But you were no. It's a picture of you two together.
Oh wow!
That you were the killer. That she said you were the number one to see.
Look at that! You could see on my face, I got this shit.
Oh,
I really, when I moved to New York, things were like really good for me because I had like 6 years of Chicago. I got here, and immediately, like soon as I landed in New York, I figured out, look at that. Oh my God, we're all serious. Almost all of us are serious.
Yeah.
Soon as I got to New York, immediately I was like, oh, this is my voice on stage. I didn't have that in Chicago. When I got to New York, I immediately locked in a different kind of way. And it was really fun. I was like the new guy who was like the new guy who was killing, and all the comics would come and watch. It was really, really exciting. And it's weird to go from like, now when I started doing stand-up again, people would come up to me and be like, hey, I started doing comedy because I used to watch The Meltdown on TV. And that's a horrible thing to hear.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want that.
You were just too many comedians.
Well, I just mean they're so young, and now I'm like the old guy. I'm not like the new. Being the hot, new, cool guy is a great feeling, and no matter what you do after that, it never matches that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, suddenly people are like, who's that guy? Like, that's the best feeling. Like, you're never going to get that feeling again.
yeah.
Great. This is the downside.
But when you first start like getting that, where you're like, oh, I got this shit figured out, and you start really, really killing, That's a new exciting feeling. And then you're always comparing it to that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once people start expecting it from you, it's a different thing.
Yeah. I did a gig last night. It was Tovah. Tovah's just asked me. There was a Chabad, because she grew up Chabad, which is a sect of Hasidism, which is underneath Orthodox, and it's so complicated.
So it's like pretty intense, but not all the way intense.
Yeah, but it's like a joke to be like, it's like casual, like you can wear your jean skirts just below the knee as opposed to the ankles.
So still pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like it was an event with there were little kids and
This
old
was
people.
last night?
First night of Hanukkah. When we're taping
Wow,
this.
you did like a heavily Jewish.
Yeah, and it was just a 15-minute set, and also the time we taped there was an anti-Semitic attack in Australia. It was like the mood was
You had
heavy.
so much material.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening.
and I just go to these things and I pray that like there's not going to be an Israeli flag hanging above the stage, and I have to figure that out.
Well,
but
of course.
But then and it was, you know, it was very nice. It was like, it was friendly and nice, but it was one of those things where I would never do this gig were it not for my girlfriend to want me to do it. But doing it, you're like, yeah, this is challenging me in ways that like I got to figure out, how do I do something that everyone's gonna like, and I felt stressed, so stressed for 25 people, but I was like, this is what made me a strong comic back in the day. I did
it's an assignment.
many of these, and I was the only, you know, there was one other comic on the lineup who had started later in life, but like it was doing these shows with like Renan Hirschberg, and he'd like kill at these super Orthodox show, and it'd be like, fuck, how the fuck did he kill? How do I figure this out? And it was good. And then
How'd it go?
It was good. It was. I mean, I got more compliments than 20 people.
And there's
there
like
than I
kids
would,
there, so there
was kids.
You're not gonna like,
I wasn't gonna do. No one was gonna say no. I wasn't gonna get booed.
No.
But there was no Israeli flags, and then a guy walked in with an Israeli flag cape, and Israeli flag cap.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
It was Benjamin Netanyahu, and it was like, I was like, yeah, no pictures after the show, no, but it was. This is the downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside. You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
Russell,
Yeah.
I know from conversations with your wife that she knows you're ready to go because you come to the bedroom with your teeth brushed.
Yes,
that's your
yes.
like go-to
That's
signal.
my signal that things are about to fly off into the sunset.
How do you know when your partner's like looking to get down?
Oh, you know, she'll usually just tell me.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Communication
yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to find out my partner's signal. And that's why I'm looking forward to seeing if Sparks is right for me. Rose Sparks is it's a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who want harder and more controlled erections.
And I'm excited. I think we have not tried this out yet, but we are both of us committed to trying it out soon. And
Our
we will
partners
have
are
more to
begging
report
us
back
to
on.
try this out.
Our partners are dying for us to try these out. So, if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a reoccurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/downside to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/downside for $15 off your first order. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to ro.co/safetyinfo.
Welcome to The Downside. This is a place we complain, get negative. We don't have to pretend things are going well, and hopefully feel better about who you are because you're not in this room right now. Join the Patreon for bonus episodes. We're recording this a little in advance of my Asia tour. So if you want to stay up to date with me and Russell and our going-ons, check out patreon.com/downside for bonus episodes every month. Kumail, we did something together we can't talk about.
We cannot.
We cannot. But we spent some time together.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
We talked about fitness. I gave you some tips. Do you look back, because I do, I'm more in shape now than I was when I was younger. I understand there's a difference. Do you look back and go, oh, I wish I had like gotten in shape or really worked out when I was younger.
100%. I wish in my 20s I had done that for sure. Because now it becomes a whole other thing, you know, like when I went from like nerdy looking to buff looking, a lot of people got very upset about it. And I talk about it in the special too, but I think they felt betrayed by me or something because I had a big nerdy audience. I'm still the same nerdy guy. So I didn't like dealing with that. I still don't like dealing with it. People
Could you just tell me, was it you? They gave you this one role and you did it for that? What started the?
Yeah, I was doing this Marvel movie and I did it, and they didn't ask me to do it. Emily was like,
They didn't ask you to do it.
No.
What if you showed up and they said we didn't want this?
No. They were fine with it. They liked that I did it, but they were like, don't do anything stupid. That's what they said. They said, don't do anything stupid. And if I had shown up just the way I always was, they would have been fine with it. But
Do you think the movie would have done better?
I think that was the problem. A lot of the reviews said I was too buff, and people decided not to buy tickets.
They said, is he a superhero or is he just strong because he works out all the fucking
It cost
time?
that movie $400 million in box office. Me working out. Each ab cost $100 million at the box office.
That's wild that you didn't have to do it at all.
This is what Emily's blown away. Emily was like, you were just looking for an excuse. I was like, yeah, someone else's dime. I have a year and a half to get like in the kind of shape that I've wanted to since I was 12.
You did fantasize about being like...
Of course. I mean, you know, I grew up in the 80s, so it was like Arnold and Stallone and fucking He-Man. I didn't realize until I saw a picture of He-Man recently. I was like, oh, that's why I did it. It's because of He-Man.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, that's what I wanted to always look like my entire life.
Wow.
And in Pakistan, this is because those were the movies that would like make it there, like the big action flicks.
Yeah, I mean, we would sort of get everything because it was all bootlegs anyway.
Yeah.
But those, like the action movies, you know, they do better internationally. So that's the stuff we got. We got like, the only stuff we got in theaters was like Van Damme and Seagal of the Hollywood stuff. The first like big Hollywood mainstream movie we got in theaters was Jurassic Park, which is like, I guess 94 or something. So up until then, we didn't get.
See, I'm going Jeff Goldblum body. Svelte.
Yeah, you're going like strong yoga man.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. That's
Lithe?
easier to maintain.
Is that a term?
Lithe, svelte.
Yeah.
I love these words.
Is it easier to maintain? It feels like more work, actually.
I think there's like, you got to eat. As we discussed, I do the intermittent fasting.
You still do it?
Oh, yeah. I'm strict. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. I did it for a few years and then I stopped.
But you, like for me, my fantasy was Abercrombie and Fitch related. Like that was you'd go to Abercrombie and Fitch and they'd have the big, it was what's his name? Mark,
the model with the hair?
Yeah, no, his brother is on Blue Bloods. Jesus
Mark
Christ.
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. It was Mark Wahlberg.
His brother is on
brother's
Blue
on Blue-
Blood.
I did Blue Bloods.
That's how
the
Mark
best-
Wahlberg wants to be
That's
remembered.
the best Mark Wahlberg credit I've ever heard. You know the
His
guy?
brother are the Blue Bloods.
He has a burger shop and his brother's on Blue Blood. Oh, Mark Wahlberg, sure.
And that's like, for me, that was...
He was the Calvin Klein model.
Yeah, I mean, he was a model for everything.
Yeah.
Before the hate crime.
They were Abercrombie and Fitch. They were like they were a house in the mall. Like, right? They had like
it was like
dark
a beach house vibe,
beach house.
and all the associates were also kind of. It was not body positive.
No. Yeah.
No, everyone was hot.
Yeah, they got in trouble. They did like an ad, and it was like kids naked on an elephant, and the joke was like, "What are the clothes that you're advertising here?" But it was that's for me. That's what I fantasized. But I never did. You try to work out when you were younger, and it didn't.
I mean, I've been working out since I was like 14.
Really.
I just did not realize what real working out was. I didn't realize how hard you have to push.
There he is, Mark Wahlberg. Look at
It wasn't until
trying.
Yeah, he looks good. It wasn't until I'm distracted. It wasn't until I started working out for Eternals that I was like, oh, this is what working out actually is. So it helped me because I had the form, my body knew how to move that kind of way, but I didn't realize that it has to be like physically painful. You have to like hurt.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not making any progress.
Sometimes with my trainer, I go, I feel like my legs hurt more than other people's. And he's like, no, That's after squats. It
That's-
feels like shit.
Everybody's legs hurt.
Did you do P90X? Because you had a P90X joke in your special.
I did. I did not do. I mean, maybe for a little bit, but not really. P90X was the one where it used to be 90s. It was like, workout's easy, just 7 minutes a day. And then with P90X, it was like, fuck you, this is hard.
Yeah.
It changed.
When I was in middle school, I had the VHS tape of 8-minute abs.
See?
And this should have been a crime because this guy was so jacked. And
was
he
it?
would show you, can you look up who did 8-minute abs? And this ab workout, I mean, it's a fine check-in with your body.
Yeah.
But he was like, you do this once a day, you will look like this.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The guy that I used to, if you look him up after you look his up, look mine up. The guy that I used to watch, his name was Tony Little. Do you know this guy?
Sounds familiar. What was his thing?
He had like a ponytail, and it was with weights, but it was really like girl workouts. But
Yeah.
I was never.
You
gonna
had
get,
little 2-pound weights. You go,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's your
8-minute
guy.
abs.
Yeah, that's not just.
8-minute abs. I mean, it's nothing. And I would do it every summer. I said to myself as a kid, I was like, I'm gonna have a 6-pack at the end of this summer
In 8 minutes.
in 8-minute spurts. And I never did.
Well, because diet is mostly what it is with abs. Like,
Yes.
you gotta have the muscles, but it is. Can you look up this guy Tony Little, please? This is the guy I used to watch, and like me and my cousin would like work out together, watch his videos. He's already laughing at it. This guy.
Oh yes. Did he get in trouble or murder someone? I feel like something happened with
He's
Tony
got
Little.
trouble in his eyes.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't think. What are you gonna look up? Trouble. Great. Tony Little trouble.
Something. What does the fucking AS synopsis say?
Serious accidents. He got hit by a school bus.
Oh, no.
Did the kids survive?
Severe burns and a horse kicking him in the groin. What a run. What a run.
He's accident prone.
No, these fitness guys. I like Tony Horton. I've met Tony Horton. Very nice. But I recently found out the ShamWow guy is a kind of crazy Republican.
Well,
he's nuts.
didn't he bite like somebody? He like
Horton?
hurt a hooker.
ShamWow.
He hurt a
ShamWow.
hooker. Oh, he
ShamWow guy had a situation with a hooker. I think that was like dark, where you're
Was it like Spider-Man? Now she can clean up spills
what?
because she bit her.
Oh, Vince Offer. There it is, 2009 arrest. Physical altercation with an alleged sex worker named Sasha Harris. A fight, yeah. The
12-hour drinking binge.
he punched her. Yeah, it's
Yeah. Oh.
yeah. So that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's a Republican politician.
My guy.
Imagine.
Yeah, that pipeline is strong. Beating up sex worker and Republican politician is not many stops along the way. My guy just got like kicked by a horse.
Uh-huh.
Your guy.
Not my guy. Not
your
my
guy.
guy. Just ShamWow's a good product. He didn't invent it though. He's a salesman.
No.
I think these fitness people, they're crazy.
Well, it happened a lot. So I used to follow all these bodybuilders and stuff, and in COVID, a lot of them went that way because the sort of alternative health medicine thing was always a little weird, and usually it was very lefty people who were into it, you know, like yoga people, vegan people, all that stuff. But I saw it happen in the pandemic because I was following all these dumbass meatheads. A lot of them went the anti-vax route, and then that opened them up to like RFK and going Republican and all that stuff. So that was their way into it. I saw it happen with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Do you think if you were this muscly though, when you were like a teenager, that you would have become a comedian? Truly.
I know I'm this muscly now, and I don't feel any different as a human being. Like, I know I'm the same person. People look at me differently, but I feel exactly the same as
Do you
I've
ever see
always-
people scared of your?
Yes.
Yeah. How? When?
Guys step to me. Guys get like I'll be at a bar, someone bumps into me and they want to like fight, and I'm like, what is this?
Oh,
And
no.
at least like they're trying to pick a fight with you because they're threatened by you. Like at the gym, I've had like guys like try and fight, like they get, which is a new feeling for me. Guys trying to fight me is a totally new feeling for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, and
what
I'm
do you-
not. I'm still
How
not
do you
together.
express that you're not into that?
I apologize.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which I talk about it in the special too. But I think it's so funny when someone tries to fight me. I just laugh, and I think that just upsets them more. But I'm not going to reciprocate.
That's funny. Every nervous impulse you have to them is like, oh, okay, you're laughing, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're sorry. Guys have that thing. We my other opener, his name's Liam Nelson. He's 7 feet tall. He has
He's
Marv fans.
literally 7 feet tall.
Yeah. And guys want to like confront him. It does something to guys.
Yeah, I've seen like hanging out with Dave Bautista. I see it happen. The other thing I saw happen with Dave Bautista is that women who don't know who he is have like an animal reaction to him. There is some ancient desire that awakens, and the way women are around him is fucking unhinged. It's crazy.
They start touching. They go, oh.
They start touching. They like come on to him really strong. They neg him while still being really obvious. Like I've hung out with good-looking dudes. The reaction that women have to him is like an animal thing.
Yeah, you're hanging out with good-looking dudes right now. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally. But there's no women here to hit on you.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what's missing. If they were here, you'd see.
The problem with your podcast. Yeah. There should be like just a few.
That's what people say when we should have more women on the podcast so they can hit on us publicly. Is this like Dave Bautista specifically? He looks like he slimmed down.
He lost a bunch of weight.
But how do you do that?
He had to work out differently and diet a lot. That's the hard thing. So I'm trying to slim down for a role and be less muscular. It's actually harder than losing like fat because you have to like limit how much protein. It's every instinct you have to go against.
Is it hard to let go of this thing you work so hard to do?
I can't quite let go of it. Like it's hard because when I'm at the gym, my instinct is just to push as hard as I can. So I actually... This is going to sound whatever. I don't know how to not work out to the extreme. I only know how to do it to the point where it hurts. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not doing anything. Mm-hmm. But the dieting or not eating enough protein, like that's really hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How long do you have?
February till February.
Okay. Is this like Christian Bale level? You go and like...
No, I'm not going to do that. I just want to look like a normal... For me, the issue is like traps. My traps get big. And so that's the thing that really betrays you. Like if you wear loose clothing, I'm not a big guy really. Like you'd be surprised at what I weigh. But no matter what, if you have big traps, even in a big shirt, it looks like you work out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to lose that.
I notice it in shows where I go like,
why is that person
where's the episode where you're at the gym for 3 hours?
Yeah, totally.
It was The Leftovers. It was always Justin Theroux.
Yeah.
And he'd take off his shirt after a jog where he jogged to get cigarettes.
And he is shredded.
He's shredded.
Yeah, he looks
mine.
great.
Mine was seeing on Broadway, Curious Incident of the Dog. You know, it's like a 15-year-old kid on the spectrum. And he's like the kid was so good. And then he took his shirt off and you're like, that kid is that kid with autism is he's spending 7 hours in the gym a day.
Yeah. I just remember there's one time I auditioned for like the nerdy character in a movie and it was like page 96, there's a pool party. And I was like, I'm right for this part, I think. It was nerdy, just a guy. And then it was like, Derek takes off his shirt. Everyone does a triple take. He's jacked. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why? Well,
you could take your shirt off. This is
not
before.
Not a triple take. Maybe a...
Oh, interesting.
Single take. Triple take.
Camera adds more, though. Like, you look better on camera than you... Yeah, they grease you up. They shave you down. They know how to light you.
They'll shave some of the hair to make it look more defined.
They can spray paint abs on you. I'm not joking.
And it looks good?
You wouldn't know. There's one...
So those avatars aren't real. You know, they're doing a lot of work in movies these days.
Yeah, I don't know if for the co-star role in the TV show, they're going to do an Avatar budget green screen of my abs. It's in my writer. He's very cheap, but his ab post costs millions of dollars.
You have to hire James Cameron.
James Cameron is like, I can't solve this one. I can't do this. One thing that we talked about when we spent this time together was your new kitten.
I have a new kitten. Yeah, I just got a new kitten.
And
it's the first time I've left her since I got her. It's been about a month.
Yeah, you wouldn't shut up about it the whole time.
I wouldn't shut up about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the cat you talked about in the special passed away after the taping? The tape of you talked about the health issues with your.
Yeah, I couldn't do. So when you were talking about tough shows, I had a tough show a couple months ago where it was a benefit for youth in Portland, and I'd been shooting, so I hadn't done stand up in 2 months. I wanted to do a warm up set, I couldn't do it. I had to go to this place. I had to do an hour after they'd been drinking for 4 hours and done a 3-hour auction thing, right? And these people are blasted, and they're the richest people in Portland. I was like, the issue here is I haven't been doing stand up. None of these people, I'm the first stand-up on stage. I have to do a full hour at the end of a 4-hour show. And I've lost 15 minutes.
Hour.
Yeah, full hour is tough.
That's really
Getting
tough.
to 60 is tough. And I've lost 15 minutes because my cat's dead, and I don't want to do that material. I just can't do material.
Did you debate it? Did you debate going?
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
There's just no way I could do it. I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. And so I did 45 minutes, and then I was like, listen, I normally do a thing about my cat, but she's passed away. So does anyone have any questions? And then people just last 15 minutes, just did a little Q&A to get to that 60 minutes. So I fulfilled the contract.
Wow.
Honestly, best part of my set was the last 15 minutes.
Did anyone ask about the cat, or did they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, weirdly, when I mentioned my cat dad, everyone was like, oh. And then people were mentioning their cats and their dogs and all this stuff. It became a thing. That's the thing I
start
noticed.
donating to a cat organization. They're like, no. Youth in Portland. Youth in Portland.
Youth in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they need help too.
Yeah.
Youth in Portland. Really struggling over there, I guess. But I noticed that when I would do my hour, once I get to when I first started talking about the cat stuff, the audience changed, the vibe changed, because everybody has had pets die, or pets who are sick, or they have pets and they're worried they're gonna die someday. The vibe changed, and it became always different when I started talking about that in a really good way. I loved it.
Yeah. Russell lost a dog recently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It was a tough year because the dog, we were on vacation, the dog lost its ability to walk, and it was this decision where you're you have to make a decision far away whether you're going to just put down the dog.
Far away, you weren't with the dog.
Or we were on vacation, and the dog was at a boarding place.
How old was the dog?
Well, that's the other thing. We found out after the fact, the dog is much older than we thought. We thought the dog was 7 or 8.
Really?
We found out the dog is 10 or 11. So it was
God.
having to make a decision about if you're going to spend crazy amounts of money for the surgery that may not result in the dog walking again. And we did the surgery. The dog did not walk again.
Well, you did the surgery.
We did the surgery. Dog didn't walk again. It was really tough because it was okay, all of a sudden your whole life has changed because your dog needs a wheelchair to go outside. It needs to be expressed to go to the bathroom. It needs to all the things.
And is the dog miserable?
No, the thing is that dog, as we have 2, we have 1 now, but that dog was 23 hours of the day was sleeping. So initially it was before in life when they could run around, they were I'll go out for my hour-long walk each day, and then truly just wanted to be next to you, resting the rest of the time. So our thing was making it comfortable that time, making it feel like it's still getting to cuddle with us and ball. So for initially it was a lot of hard work, but it was okay. But by the end it was it had all sorts of things, and it finally had a stroke. And
how did it lose the ability to walk? Was it a stroke?
No, it was some weird disc issue that is common can happen in pit bulls, and pit bulls don't really let you know when they're in pain. So it could have been for years that
pit bulls are like men.
Yeah, it could have been in pain for years, and we just didn't. It had no indication that and all of a sudden something slipped and it hit some sort of.
So
nerve
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. There was no indication that was going to happen. So, anyways, but I also have a cat too. So, how long have you just got the new cat?
I've had the new cat 4 weeks and 3 days, and I've just left her for the first time because my brother got married this weekend. So I went to Jersey for his wedding. And then, so this is the longest I've been away, and I cannot wait to get back to her because I'm still getting to know her. I knew Bagel so well. She knew me. We were mind this cat, it's hard to leave because I'm I don't even know you really. I'm just we're getting to find out what all her weird little meows mean. So it's really, really pretty devastating.
Do you find you're more drawn to cats?
I always thought cats were really cute. And I think I'm not one of those. For some reason, dog people, if you mention you have a cat, they're like, I don't like cats. Cat people never like, I don't like dogs. I don't know why that
agree.
happens. Dog people can be so judgmental about cats.
I find I've said this before. I think it's misogynist. It feels weirdly like it feels like dogs are a man's thing, and
it kind of is,
and like cats are fucking bitches.
I think,
do you know what I mean?
That's ironic, but yeah, I like.
There's something there. There's something.
I heard Bobby Lee and Mark Maron talking about it, where they're like, you're a cat person. You have the energy of cat people. I think there is a difference. Dog people and cat people.
Cats are much easier.
They're easier, but they also don't like immediately love you. Like it takes some doing.
I had cats. I had a tough time with the scratching. I get really just in my head. I think my dad had a cat that probably we weren't taking great care of the cat, and it was like it would like wait by entranceways and like claw. And my stepdad's cat scratched me when I was a little kid. I have a lot of trauma with scratching, but so one time when I was dating a woman, we lived in Philadelphia. We were walking home. And there was like a guy in a suit. He had a box of kittens, adorable kittens. And it was clear he was like trying to pawn them off or something.
Sure.
And and we were not, and we were at an acting company. We were in no place to have pets. And she loves animals. She would pet. She kind of petted the kittens, and then she I could tell uh-oh, we're getting too close. Yeah. And so I was like, let's go. And then when we left, the guy he said, well, if no one adopts them by the end of the day, I'm going to have to drown him in my pool.
He said that?
Yes. And she took the whole box. And so suddenly we had 5 kittens.
Yeah.
And in a small Philly apartment. And she was like, don't worry, I'll get them adopted by the end of the week. No one wanted these fucking cats.
But they're beautiful, right?
They're beautiful. And for me, to experience a cat without the claws for a portion of time, I was like, this is the life.
Yeah.
We had one was a tabby cat, and we called her Baby. And they were so young, they barely moved, and for so long they didn't scratch, and I loved it.
And then they started scratching.
Yeah, I mean, this tabby was would go flying around the apartment, smelled like piss.
I have my cat now. I've had since I came home drunk. I was doing acting contract in Virginia, came home from karaoke at like 2 a.m. and it was pouring rain, and the cat was like a tiny kitten, like could fit in the palm of my hand. It stuck in between the door of the screen door. You
gotta bring that cat in.
And so I brought the cat in for the night, and then the next day took it to the local shelter there. There was a kill shelter. They're basically same thing.
Did you on purpose pick out a kill shelter?
No. There was like, it's a small town. There's like not a lot of places around.
Yeah.
And I went there, and they were like, I was like, well, what's the process? And they were like, well, basically, if we can't find someone in a week, we'll probably put it down. And I was like, oh my God. So for like 2 days, I was like trying. And also when I tried to hand him over, he started crying, and I'd never heard him cry before. And so I hand him, and I was like, the whole like 2 days, I was like, I'm going to have this. This is going to be my fucking cat. And so then I have him, and now I've had him in my head though. That was 12 years ago. And I was like, someone once was like, you're going to be 40 and have this cat. And I was like, what? And then I was like, but one thing I learned is that you're not supposed to play with them rough when they're young with your hands. I feel like I.
What do you mean rough?
Well, I would play with him, and now when he scratches and stuff, I probably led to a lot of that.
Well, what I've heard to go with that, I buy that, because if you take kittens away from other kittens too early, they scratch more, because other kittens teach you where the line is.
Yeah.
So we got our first cat when she was a little baby, Bagel, and she scratched all the way up until she was pretty old, This cat, Biscuit, we got when she was 5 months old, grew up with other kittens. She does not scratch at all. Because other kittens sort of like slap you if you like go too hard. So she plays, but she doesn't bite down hard. Her claws never come out.
Yeah.
When your cat, we had a couple of cats at my mom and stepdad's house, and when the cat died, I'm pretty sure she just went disappeared. Like sometimes cats,
they go hide on their own to die.
That's wild.
It's the saddest thing. Listen, we all die alone.
I wonder what can you look up why do cats hide when they die?
Ours, we had to make a decision.
Yeah.
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 So I read something. It was on Twitter where like it was like a Facebook post. Where it was like, are cats normally really kind of cold and elusive, but suddenly they got really cuddly and they're on the pillow, and people were commenting like that means it's about to die.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Survival instincts. They become vulnerable. That's why they're vulnerable. They can't fight back, so they go and hide. So they're not.
You're right. It is connected to misogyny. I think it's like a degree of like you can't tell what they're thinking. You know, you don't know. It's mysterious. They just disappear and they're mad at you and they're elusive, but they want to be pets. And people go,
and you have to work for their love.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
unpredictable.
you got to work, and the dogs are just like, I love you. It's easy. It's like,
yeah.
It's totally true. Dogs are so loyal by default, whereas cats are not. Like, if cats were the size of dogs, people would be dying all the time.
Oh my God, they would. Yeah.
100%.
yeah, we have tigers and lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have proof. They murder you.
Like, this
yeah,
big.
if only we had cats that were as big as dogs.
Did you do a proper funeral, or what was your method of grieving?
We were in New York. I was doing Oh Mary, and she's been like truly the most important thing in my life. She's 17 years old. I'll tell you the story. It's obviously not a happy story, but we woke up a Saturday morning. She woke us up. She would wake us up every morning, and we have this on video. She comes, tries to wake us up. It doesn't work. She leaves, comes back 20 minutes later to wake us up, and now it works. So we see her go by on camera with a pep in her step, like, oh, now we're awake. It's going to be fun. And 7 minutes later, the situation had changed because we see us put her in a carrier and leave. So we have all the time codes of it. We knew at some point she had an enlarged heart, and at some point something was going to happen, and we'd have to make a decision. So that's what it was. We took her to the vet, and they literally took her down, and they came back and they're like, you knew this day was coming. This is that day. We could do a bunch of intervention. It may work. It probably won't work. And she was obviously, you try and forget the half hour, the last half hour, because until then she was totally fine. She had no idea. We knew something was wrong with her because the doctors told us, but looking at her, you'd have no idea. She was like a very young seeming cat.
Yeah.
The Botox was helping. She looked very young. We got her like that. Well, when people get when they do that, everybody starts looking like a cat anyway. So with the cat, you just get more cat. Yeah. So we made the decision, and this was weird because we made the decision. We went and we held her, and I take solace in that last half hour where it's like being with her did make her feel better. Like, even though it wasn't, it wasn't great, but us being there with her, we were able to provide her with some comfort towards the end. And then they're like, what do you want to do? We were like, I guess we'll get the ashes. That's what everybody does. Super sad. And when we went back a week later to get the ashes, that's when my reaction was very different from what I expected. I got really angry because you go and they're like, where's your cat? Like, hold on. And they go and they like bring you a bag, and you look in the bag, and it's like a box that has her name on it, but nothing in there is her. It doesn't remind you of her. We opened it, and there's like a little pouch that has branding of the vet that we ended up taking her to. Not even her vet, just some random vet. And that's when I got really angry because I thought it would be an emotional experience, and it wasn't. It felt very impersonal. Like, it felt like getting a gift bag with something horrible inside it.
And branding for the other vets?
For the vet that,
like a discount for the next cat?
That's right. Why are they?
What are you doing with the ashes? Because I'm asking this because I have right now a closet full of 3 pets' ashes that I don't know what to do with them yet.
What, based on
they're not even his pets. He just collects ashes.
Collector.
We don't want to display.
This is Hennessy,
Lacey, and Ziggy. 3 dogs.
Forgive me. Lacey was
Nicole's. Nicole's dog with
But Lacey was the first to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hennessy, and then Ziggy. Yeah.
That's the saddest closet I've ever heard in my life.
We have. This is really funny though. We have because Louie the cat has been through all of these dogs, so we have different artworks with Louie and a dog. So it's just
that's like a vampire
this
takes
one,
a picture with their wife.
You see,
cat that
like,
keeps living with
oh my
all
God,
these.
this guy was in the Civil War and he looks the same. It's like 12 monkeys.
Yeah.
We didn't want to. We wanted to keep it, the ashes, because what do? You don't throw them out. But we didn't want to put them up, so we have like a little shelf in our house that's a shrine to bagel. We have a picture of her favorite toys, artwork that friends have done, her water bowl. We don't have the ashes there because I get nothing from them.
Can you relate, whether you approve of it or not, can you understand why someone like Barbara Streisand or
Cloning the pet.
Super
Super weird. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I wanted my new cat to be totally different from my
Totally
other
different.
cat. She looks different.
Can you relate to, is there any small part of you that goes like,
No.
oh, it would be nice?
Zero.
No, I think
Zero.
it's so weird.
Tom
Zero.
Brady's the
There's
other one.
also-
Tom
there's-
Brady. And I think what's funny about Tom Brady, because he's like doing a startup that's doing this, like, you know, bringing the pets back. And I'm like, Tom, someday they're going to do this for you.
Yes.
An
Yeah.
NFL team is going to use your DNA. That's absolutely in our lifetimes.
I got to be honest. When I see that sort of thing, I feel like you didn't have an authentic relationship with your animal, because if it's all about how it looks and just recreating the look of that thing, like it's not going to be the same vibe.
Well, that's the
as
thing,
all.
if
It's
you-
weird
it's gotta be
aesthetic.
weird.
It's a weird aesthetic. You're just
Yeah.
looking for like a superficial like thing.
For me, that's what life is. Life is you have something, then it goes, and that's your experience with it. You have memories of that, and you move on. Like, to me, I don't want any more time with bagel than I got. It's crazy to me to have another bagel, and then you want it to be exactly the same as the other one. Like, that part of my life is done. She's gone. I have wonderful memories of her. Now I want to have memories with a new cat.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, I'll have this cat in my 40s. I'm gonna have this cat, if things go well, into my 60s.
Yeah.
If things go well. That's a crazy thought.
Yeah.
yeah, I just.
Would you? You would clone
Oh no, not necessarily with a pet.
I wouldn't clone a person.
What if you had a podcast with them, and the chemistry between the two of you was essential?
So you clone them and then you wait 25 years for them to get to
yeah,
the
and
point
make sure
where
they
you
go
can-
through the same trauma.
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
did,
You're like
bully
trying to
them.
recreate it. It's like
Yeah.
that Nathan Fielder thing in the rehearsal. Did you watch that?
Uh-huh.
Where they're trying to like have the experience
The
of
same
being the
experience.
pilot. Mm-hmm. It's like that. You're trying to give them the exact same trauma.
Yeah, that would be great. One day they'll be like, "Where'd Russell's beard go? Why is he 12?
Why is he 12?
Let me ask you something. You guys are both trained actors. How do you think it affects your comedy that you did like the hardcore theoretical training? Like on stage, does that affect you?
When doing like hard comedy?" Russell's better at it than me, so you should answer.
What do you mean? Like
Like as an actor, a comedic performer.
I think, I don't know. There were certain things that I think were, because I did like a classical theater training program I got my MFA, and but I was always kind of like, this. When I was in those spaces, I did a lot of Shakespeare and things, and I was like, it's not quite right. Like I felt like I did well at it, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't until I started doing comedy that I was like, oh, actually, I feel like the training and how hard I worked is actually perfect for this, because I liked how fast comedy moved. I liked it. I was like, oh, this feels much better. It moves faster. And I like sometimes in the classical spaces, I'd be like, this is fucking taking forever. Like we're gonna sit down and talk about all this shit. Like let's use what we have, the training that we have, but like get on our feet and just do it. And I felt like that's, I don't know. That something about that helped.
For me, I think I went through I was so deep in like I wanted to feel it. I really wanted to feel everything. I wanted that authenticity, and comedy like forced me to like, you just got to make a fucking choice.
Yes.
It's
and
about
then
going
imbue it.
forward. It's about moving.
There was a time
Yeah.
like Stella Adler was like always the school of thought that I didn't like, because she'd be like, what is your character's gesture? What is their thing? And it felt very like outside in. And I always thought of that as like somehow lesser than artistically, because I'm like, well, what do I love? It's a screen, and you see the person like they're feeling something, and it fucks you up.
Yeah.
And then part of it was like I didn't have that well as readily available to me, and I kind of tortured myself trying to
Yeah.
feel
Feel it.
all the time. And then if I didn't, I would. There was like a period of time where you could have accused me of like being difficult because I wasn't expressing anything, because in my mind I was like, unless I'm feeling it and it's like pounding out of me. And so now I feel like I have a healthier blend of the two, of like choices and what's specific to this character and the circumstances, and then trying to bring in that feeling. And if it doesn't emerge, I have enough circumstances to the person I see now is named Ted Sluberski for my audition coaching. He's like talks about like building the scaffolding with like the facts of the scene and the circumstances.
right.
And it's like you have that and then you play within it.
Right. So you're like goal oriented rather than like trying to feel a certain thing, which I think can be a trap. But on stage and stand up, do you feel your training affecting you or assisting you or hindering you?
Oh, I think assisting tremendously. I think I can do a different version of a twist that people who aren't acting trained can, where I can like temporarily make you believe that I don't think
going through something in that moment.
Through something, and obviously you're watching a stand-up stage, like you're like something's coming, but like I can really like be mad, and I can be
right,
and I can feel it, and I do when I think I'm at my best. I think I'm really like if I'm ranting about something, I feel a little mad about it.
Yeah. I mean that's the goal.
But if I was doing Oh Mary, if I was doing Lincoln, but if I was looking at an ass and I didn't, and it was a guy's ass and it wasn't doing it for me, I'm a substitution.
You're a substitution.
I'd be thinking about
like a great ass that you do like.
Yeah. And then I get in my head about like, is this doing it for me? And I'd switch it up. And
yeah. No, I've learned just like, when I'm acting, you get in your head. It's best to like focus on the other person, even if you're just evaluating the performance, like how are they doing this, right? How are they doing in this scene? That gets me out of my head. So if I'm like always doing emotional substitutions, because that show Oh Mary is so fast, you're going that you don't really have an opportunity to think of an ass you really like. The ass is in front of you and you got like a second to like that ass.
Yeah.
You can always find something
in
to like
acting
about
classes. I remember I struggled with that because like you take those things and then you throw out a lot of it and then use some of it, but like we would do this thing where there'd be like I realize that like there would be all these things, so that when you were like going through your scene or it was just like all these things where you would like do them over certain things. You'd break them down in your script, and it would be all these things, and so then you'd watch these scenes and it would be all these actors. It would be a nightmare to watch because it would be so slow. Everyone's like working so hard to do the homework, and you're like, on some level I see where that comes in and how that just filters through your system and you can use what you can, but it would be funny to remember how painful those scenes were.
And I want control, so I would take those things. Like I got to a point, it was insane. Every line had an objective and a tactic, and it was like filling out
what's
a
your action
crossword.
What's your
do you feel, I don't know what my acting future holds. I haven't done a lot, and I have a thing where I go, stand up, I believe I'm great at.
Yeah, sure.
Like it's the thing like I fucking can do.
Yeah.
And acting, I think I'd be sufficient. I don't think I'll put it here. I will never be a great actor in the way that I could be a great stand-up. Mm-hmm. And I think about that a lot. Mm-hmm. I think about all the comedians who gravitate towards acting and find something. Like in your mind, do you see, in terms of like artistically, do you see acting as like, this is an exciting adventure? Do you ever have that thing of like, I want to be a fucking great, or I want to be a fucking action star? Like, what do you want?
I want to be a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
I would, like truly feel like, oh, I'm in command of this moment. I'm really, really in it. I'm feeling it. To me, the reason I ended up moving away from stand-up a little bit, and this is going to sound crazy, and I do sometimes think, what would have happened if I didn't quit for 10 years? Where would I be as a comedian right now? And the answer is kind of all over the place. When I started doing stand-up again, I saw some people that I'm like, you're 10 years better. And some people you're like, you're exactly the same.
Yes.
You were really good then, and you're still really good in the exact same way. I did have the advantage of going back to it and being like, what do I want to do with this now? Whereas sometimes when you're just writing bits, you don't have that perspective. You don't have the intention of what I want to do. The reason I moved away from stand-up a little bit was I started to feel like I got this. And with acting, I felt like I have no idea what the fuck this is. And it's really scary. And that's what was exciting to me. So to me, what was really exciting was that I wasn't good at it. Whereas with stand-up, I mean, there's always something to learn. But there was a time where I wasn't bored with it. I really wasn't. And I just want to clarify, I'm not saying I was like a fucking great stand-up or anything. I'm just saying, for me, in that moment, I just felt like I know how to do this, which makes you want to do something else. And you work with a really great actor and they're doing something and you're like, what the fuck is that? How
Totally.
did you do that?
Yeah.
That's why I did a play, because I worked with like theater actors and I was like, whoa, what is this going on? And they were all theater actors. That's why I was like, it's terrifying. But if I get a chance to do like acting on stage in front of an audience, horrifying to me, but I got to do it to see what it is that you pick up from that.
Before we go into our "This Has Got to Stop," I do want to ask, because we did. I kind of sometimes when I reflect on like Pete Holmes' podcast, I kind of have the opposite when it comes to the religion part of everything. But we were talking. You were teaching me a lot that I did not know about. You were raised Shiite Muslim.
Yeah.
And how conservative were we talking? Were you? I know very little. You were teaching me the difference between Shiite
And Sunni are the two major sects. And
the
then
major
there's
sects.
divisions within that, and then there's divisions outside of that. But those are the two big ones.
And you were saying there was you couldn't perform. There were some places you said that you wouldn't be able to do a show, or like I thought you said like there's certain places where the other sect they talk shit about you, or they don't.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of animosity between these two sects.
Yeah.
Like, so I grew up in Karachi, and Shia, and Karachi, Pakistan is majority Sunni. We're Shia. So our parents did say, don't mention, even though I have a very, very Shia name, you won't meet a Sunni person with my first name. They were, but it was so obscure that even the Sunnis didn't know it was a Shia name. They were just like, oh, that's a new weird name we haven't heard. But there was a lot of sectarian violence, and we were told not to like say it out loud.
Why'd they give you that name if they were so concerned?
Well, they're very religious. Like, you asked if they're conservative. Yeah, they're conservative.
Yeah.
Not fundamentalist. For some reason, with Muslim people are like, well, you grew up in a fundamentalist Muslim family. I'm like, no, they were not fundamentalists. They were conservative. They were very religious, socially conservative for sure. But they were not. There's like a line there. For me, yeah, that's what I grew up with, and it was scary being in Karachi as a Shia, because there would be like cycles of violence where like these two people were going at it, where there's an attack on like a Shia mosque or an attack on a Sunni mosque and that stuff, and it's pretty intense, and it depends like country to country. So like there are more Sunnis than there are Shias all over the world, but like Iran is Shia, Iraq is Shia, but the government is Sunni. Saudi Arabia is Sunni. So there are like these distinctions, and they're like, people get very intense about them.
Mm-hmm. And but would someone who is Sunni, would they go to your show? Like, if you were to perform?
Yeah. I mean, I have like, this is a weird thing I'm going to say. In the last few years, growing up, maybe we talked about this, I always thought India and Pakistan are political enemies, but there was no animosity between the people. Like, there was actually a lot of support. Even in Indian movies, Muslim people were the good guys, like there were
That's what we were talking about, the movies and the bad guy.
Yeah, it used to be that every Indian movie would have like, this is a Muslim guy and he's a good guy. And obviously we all loved that.
It's like the opposite of American TV.
But now it's changing.
Yeah.
Now, I think the situation in India has become, again, I'm generalizing, but the hate I get online is from like right-wing white people in America and Indian people. That's the biggest I get. However, at my shows, a lot of Indian people come to my shows. And they love it. Like, it's like the further you pull back, the more support you get. So when you're there on the ground, there's divisions, but from far away, it's like everybody supports everybody. But I feel that like tensions between our two countries have really gotten way more intense than they've ever been in my lifetime.
Was there was some movie star where they said something?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan, I got in trouble because he said he's Muslim. And he's the biggest movie star in India. And he said something that, I'm going to get... Look at your comments when you put this up.
Sure.
Yeah. He just said there were like some Muslim people that were killed in the street. And he just was like, that should not happen. And there was a huge kind of backlash against him.
Yeah.
And he's doing well now. But, it's interesting to see how... governments really not just governments, but it's interesting to see how quickly a society can change. And we're seeing that here, stuff that a few years ago you weren't supposed to say. Now it's okay to say. Rob Reiner got murdered yesterday. And today the president basically was like, yeah, well, I didn't like him anyway. Could you have imagined that ever being said by the president or anybody publicly? You see how quickly it changes. We really are.
It gets confusing though, because I think like you go through the day and you see a lot of people condemning it. You see a lot of people condemning the comments, and it's always like, this person who was a big Trump supporter actually said something negative about him today. He said this is too far. And there's sometimes you have this feeling where I'm like, I feel like everyone I know doesn't love this. Everyone's, but it's like clearly there's still some gigantic voter that continues this going forward, and it just drives you crazy.
You're
just
like always like, well, I don't support that about him.
Yeah,
but what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Because it wasn't that out of character.
You'll bring up like hundreds of things to them. And like, well, I don't like how you did that. And you're like, but what is it, Ben?
So then what is
it? It wasn't like, it's not. It was like it was a very ugly tweet, but I didn't read it and go like, oh my god, I can't believe.
That's what I mean. The
that
line
he would
is
talk
moved.
like this.
Yeah, the line is totally moved.
Like,
I used to, a lot of people, this is inherent goodness of mankind. I've never believed that. I think good societies make good people and bad societies make bad people. I mean, the Nazis, they were popular. Normal people went and killed Jews, and that was their job, and they were fine with it.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it was, who was it? Can you look this up? There was a guy who did an experiment, where the shocking experiment.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Milgram?
Yeah, that sounds right. Where he would basically, it was he'd have someone,
and you could tell them.
It's basically do you just follow orders if you're given to them?
Right.
And someone, it's one of those studies that sometimes they look back at those studies, they're like, it was all flawed. But it was someone was told to keep pressing a button and shocking someone else, and it was an actor, but they would increasingly start screaming in pain, and to test like if they just had someone go, press the button. The button, would they do it?
If you give up your, like, basically you're saying, I didn't do it, that guy told me to do it, people are capable of very heinous shit. And obviously history has shown that, and we're seeing that right now. So I never feel like there's any inherent good. I think, morality comes from what works in a society. And I think a moral society is one that's sustainable. A society that is pushing a group of people down is not a sustainable society. It has never been sustainable, A true egalitarian society is moral, because that is a society that can function successfully as a society.
Yeah.
You can't have a society where certain people can't vote or can't marry other people. That just does not work.
Yeah.
Yes, Stanley Milgram. There it is, the shock experiment.
It says how long it takes for, it's I guess when someone turns on Trump and this is the moment they do it, you're just supposed to go, okay, good, I'm glad you got there eventually. but like it is the thing, it's like enough people have to have had a bad day and had someone like speak ill of their dead love. It's the same with shootings and guns. It's like, it's only going to change until enough people have been in a shooting and they go, oh my God.
Kids who have been in multiple shootings now be like, I've been in two shootings.
There were kids at Brown. They said there've been 2 shootings.
Isn't that also interesting that suddenly it becomes a thing and then people start doing it? Like, school shootings were not a thing. The first real big one I remember was Columbine.
Yeah.
Which was like late 90s. And then it's become like a thing that people do. Like, school shootings have become a thing that people do. It's a way that they express whatever they want to express. And it takes like one person to sort of do it, and then people start doing it. Like, do you remember? I remember in the 90s there were a lot of, like, in LA, like, shootings on the highway in cars. Do you remember that?
You talked about the DC sniper.
The DC sniper is the one I remember. But
that was,
what were the
that
LA
was a bit
shootings?
later.
What were those?
It was a joke. Like, have you seen the movie LA Story? Steve Martin?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Great movie. You got to see it. It's phenomenal. But there's a joke about it in there that now feels very dated. But I remember, like, Leno and Letterman making jokes about, like, people shooting at each other on the highway in LA. It had become a thing that was, like, happening for a little bit. Can you look that up too? I don't know what to Google. LA highway shootings, 1990s, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it sort of went away. But it's sort of these weird things that, like, come up and then become things. But I feel school shootings really, like,
sticking.
Yeah.
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 What does it say, Ty?
Southern California freeways. Okay, so it was, waves in the 80s and
1980s and 2005.
See, there
what was
it is.
going on in
Gotta come back.
2005?
1980s, LA area gained notoriety for freeway gunplay. And that became like a thing in the 80s. Isn't that weird? And then
it
it went
came
away.
back. It came in Atlanta.
2005,
Atlanta, there was a period of time where like I-20, which cuts through like Louisiana and Georgia, all that. There's a period of time where like people just got shot on that highway while
Isn't it
driving.
weird? It just certain things happen. We're
For a
like, all
year.
right, we're all doing this now.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
It's
Let's go back to that. That seems better than what we got now. If we got to compare.
I know. Because you can avoid highways.
Yes.
Yeah, please surface streets only. That's what Waze would have now.
Let's go on to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
Russell, do you have a This has got to stop?
yeah, this has got to stop. Okay, Christmas cards. If you're gonna send one out to people's homes, I think it either has to be funny, or you got to dress up a little bit in theme of Christmas. I think sometimes when you're just sending a random photo of a family from like your beach vacation, I don't know. It doesn't feel like we needed to put it for the Christmas card. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
get that.
You got to stick with a theme. If it's going to be a Christmas card,
It's not your time to show off about how great your family is.
no, I think it's like
You're like,
if
what's this
sending-
menorah in the shot?
Yeah, you gotta like
Christmas
be around a
trees.
tree, or like you gotta be like
Green. Someone's gotta be wearing
You gotta be in
green,
holiday
red.
clothes.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes they'll just be like, "Here's our Christmas card," and you're like, "But why? Like, why am I looking at this picture of you in July? Like it doesn't make sense for the theme of the card.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you'd...
Send this to me in July. Send it. Be like, hey, greetings from the beach. You know, like
How do you feel about like a year-end catch-up that's like funny, where people have written a letter?
Oh, I think if it's funny and you've written something, like I'm thinking of the ones that you'll just get where it's just like Happy Holidays from this
Right,
family,
right.
and it's a random photo. That's what I'm saying. If it's funny and it's written, whatever, sure. If you're putting some time and thought into making
Sure.
it funny, our friend does a really good Christmas cards. Our friend Jessica,
Yes.
where it's creative and it's photoshopped and it's she does something with the baby and it's funny. But yeah. So that's mine this time. I'm just kidding.
This would be great for the January 6th release. Thanks, Russell.
Is that when it comes out?
Yeah.
That's one of my
It's
favorite dates.
Fairly.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yes.
all of ours.
Of course. January 6th. He was there.
I was newly free.
So speaking of this has got to stop.
My This has got to stop is comedians wearing shirts with their own name on it.
Oh my God.
This is such a sign of you don't have enough people around you kind of giving you shit in a good, healthy way. If you're wearing your name on your pocket, on your thing, on your back, that's corny as fuck. That's a name tag. And you sell that and you wear it. It's weird. It happened recently in a big special, and I just think it's a sign. Because like I get it. I have an ego that I could see unchecked. I would start wearing Gianmarco. You know, sometimes the
Yeah, I see
laundry's
it.
done.
I think you could pull it off. This is how it starts. I think you could do it, dude.
And
I
it starts
genuinely-
with just the G.
Yeah.
It starts
with
with
just the G.
Yeah, that's slowly
On the hat.
others show up.
Like I
It's
wear
just a
Carhartt.
G.
It kind of looks like a G, and then a little bit more.
Or maybe
a little
just
bit
the
more.
silhouette of my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And like I get it. It feels like if it's merch, it feels like you're a walk-in commercial and it's gross. And if it's not merch, it's just like you had someone make that for you.
Yeah.
It's weird, and it's just a sign. It is a sign. The name on the shirt, the comedy is soon to go downhill with your fashion sense. This has got to stop.
Yeah,
that's a good
that's. I feel like comedians trying to be cool is the death of comedy. Like you cannot, as
What
a
about
comedian.
Jesselneck? Is he the exception to
You
the
know,
rule?
he kind of breaks all of those rules that because I always feel like comedy has to have an emotional component. Yours does. You were talking about you want to really feel it. I always think the best comedy has that. Anthony does not have that. There's no truth in his comedy at all.
Yeah.
But he's such a great joke writer, and his persona allows for that. So I think he's like the exception to a lot of different comedy rules.
And it still is a character to a degree. He's going on stage and he's like, this is the Jesselneck. He doesn't talk like that off stage.
He really doesn't.
He'll talk to you as like a human being.
He's different than what people think he is. Like people think he's this like obviously he's he knows he's good, but Jesselneck is like a lot softer as a human being than you think he's going to be. For him, it really is like an experiment. Like, how do I write a joke that like nobody can guess, and how far can I push it? It is not tethered to reality at all.
But someone who wants to be like they're cool. They're cool in general. And Tovah always say, you're a clown.
Yes.
You are a clown, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. But like, you can't. There's no such thing as a cool clown.
You
can't-
also have to be able to be made fun of too.
Yes.
like that's an important part to not lose. Is that you have
the
to be able to
most
be
important.
cool, and because like if you're never okay with people making fun of you or being the like butt of the joke, sometimes then you've lost something that it's very clear and it's not fun.
Yeah.
You gotta have self-awareness. A
Yeah.
comedian, you cannot be genuinely funny if you don't have self-awareness. And I feel like we're really in an era of the cool comedian. Like right now, that's really ascendant. My generation, or the people I was influenced by, were all like, they all came from like the alt scene. So it was all like weirdos and nerds, and it was like Patton Oswalt and Brian Posehn and David Cross and Sarah Silverman and all these people who just were like okay being weirdos, and now it's become like the broy cool comedian in the cool clothes trying to be like, this is how the world is.
And that's why also the name thing, even more so, it's like, that's not cool.
It's not
Yeah.
cool.
That you have your own shirt with your name on
And
it.
it also feels like it's impacted even the slightly grungier, altier scenes too, because like there's like
that right?
everyone's got a photo shoot for everything and like a thing, and it's all about how it looks and your team, and like there is a thing where it does feel like even it's impacted. Like
I think it's because to survive in this industry, you have to be more of a little bit of a business person. So you are like outside minded in general. You are your own manager. You are your own PR person. And if you are like a fucking chaos, it's tough to make it anywhere anymore.
Yeah. You know what?
That's so funny. Those
But that's
chaotic
okay.
people.
Okay, you know what? I just came up with the new, this is going to stop. It's people, and now it's more accepted than ever, who are famous just for being famous. And I'm not talking about the Kardashians or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about comedians who are stand-ups but not really stand-ups, make videos but don't really make videos, where they're just kind of like sort of a factory. They're like an institution. They're a brand and nothing else. And I understand there is value to being a brand, and I'm not against self-promotion. Like, you're good, you want to do this. Like you, for instance, you post videos, you have people doing all this stuff for you. You're a stand-up comedian and you take pride in that. I know people who are very, very funny people. I watch their special and I'm like, to you, this is just one of many things that you do, and you don't care about it being great, and it fucking shows. You gotta have the thing that you're like, this is the reason what everything is. This is what everything is supposed to be supporting. You know,
if there's no final thing,
there's no final.
I'd release these videos and be like, see a live show. This is what I want.
Exactly. When it's just like, I'm a personality. I don't understand that. I find it very frustrating because I see like very funny comedians who are just like, don't put the time into it. It's crafting an hour is a lot of work.
It is.
You got to do justice to your talent to do it. Do it to the best of your ability. Make an hour that you can be proud of instead of like.
you have to want to do that.
You have to want to do it. You got to put in the
first.
time. You got to. Unfortunately, I think you get a fan base online. You start performing. You start headlining a year in. And you're for your fans, and it's like, I don't know how you recreate. I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about acting too, where it's like it's really hard after you have success to learn a new thing. You have to challenge. You have to find a way in. You got to really challenge yourself. And like with stand up, it's so hard because it's so hard to get like a random club spot, or people just know you.
Well, that's the other thing you were saying when you start off doing stand up, you have to be competitive. It's not just competition with the other comedians. It's also like a competition against the audience.
Yeah.
Like I started off in Chicago where, improv and sketch are the main things, and stand up is really like the not cool comedy orphan, right? So, and I'm going up at like bars by Wrigleyville where they had a game on, they turned the game off, and now you got to go do stand up. These audiences hate you.
Yeah.
There's value to that. Like going up and having to win over an audience, that makes you really, really good.
And it's just so hard if you can sell out a weekend to go do that show on a Tuesday. You do that show when it's the only spot you could get that night, and it's really hard.
It's really hard. You're like in your car going over there like, fuck, this is going to fucking suck, but it's going to make me a little bit better.
And you also then sometimes, like I remember when we were doing our early Uncle Function shows,
Our sketch team.
as a sketch group, and
Uncle Function?
and we would be like, we worked so hard as an independent sketch group to like get like an audience there, blah blah blah. And then when I got on UCB and I was like seeing this built-in audience, and they would just laugh at everything, and I would be like, what are you laughing at? Like being like, knowing how hard we worked to get real laughs in a space where we were working so hard, and then being like, just for like sometimes for stuff that's just like they're just laughing and it teaches you something, you know.
It certainly does. I think to support. That's why that's the trick of stand-ups. Is like
that's the beauty of it as an art form. Is like it's the creation involves the audience, like every step of the way.
The audience gets easy. Like you're talking about, there are legendary comedians who aren't that good anymore. Or you watch their hour, you're like, that was 20 good minutes and 40 minutes that does well in front of your crowd, but doesn't play at home.
Yeah.
Like if
and
you
a
watch
lot of them have their names on their shirts.
And you watch their early specials, and they're killer top to bottom because they had to go do those terrible shows and had material that someone who hates you would still laugh at.
Yeah.
And now they love you and they laugh. I don't know how to get around that.
Yeah.
Do you have This Gotta Stop, or was that your This Gotta Stop?
That was my This Gotta
Great.
Stop.
If you join the Patreon, you get to submit your own This Has Gotta Stop. Patreon.com/downside. Ty, what do we got today?
Here, sorry.
Oh, you're wearing a Zanies shirt.
Yeah.
I used to do Zanies in Chicago.
One of the best.
I love that room. It's that shotgun style room. It's great.
My first bomb was Zanies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Bad?
To me, it was very bad. The other comic who was there was like, it wasn't that bad. But it was really bad. Because, when you're first doing, I had like a 7-minute guest spot. Because I would do the alt rooms, but I'd also do the clubs. And they liked me over there. You open with your second best joke, close with your best joke. I do my second best joke, nothing. Oh, no. I move my best joke up, nothing. Now I know I've got 6 minutes left of my B shit. And that feeling, the worst feeling was the audience didn't dislike me. They pitied me. They were looking at me like, why did they think he could do this? I remember this woman looking at me like, this poor guy thought he would come here and do this and that he could do it. It was awful, awful feeling. You need that. You need those bombs.
That. I did at the Rosemont Zany, which is a big, 350, I think. And it was secret headliner. I was a secret headliner. Never a good sign.
That is tricky.
Who's going to be there? And this was a long time ago. And it was 7 people in this gigantic room. And man, doing an hour for 7 people. Doing an hour for 7 people make you strong.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. You got to do it.
Yeah. And that green room, what I love about the green room is they still have not taken the Cosby CDs off the wall. You can really tell the last time
those albums are good.
They're good albums.
Oh, they're great albums.
They're good albums. If he was still popular today, he'd be wearing Cosby on his socks. Believe you me.
When I told you about that that's funny, Portland show, a couple years before me, Bill Cosby had done that show. They said, and then a week later, all that stuff came out.
Oh my God! I was like,
I bet he fucking murdered.
They said he was a total dick. Everybody hated him. Went on stage and crushed.
Yeah, no Q&A.
Q&A required. He had the material.
This got to stop. This is from Cordell. Fat shaming during crowd work. I got fat shamed during someone's crowd work so hard.
Which show of mine did they go to?
Any of them.
I was gonna start with that.
It's hard to narrow down.
Yeah. I was gonna start with that riff.
Sounds like their issue too.
Either way, they decided to try to pivot to a joke about Gaza. That night was so rough.
That's a tough pivot.
That's a tough
That's a
pivot.
strong pivot.
You know what it is. It's going to be like, send some of the food over to Gaza. I just imagine if I were to connect the two.
Hey,
I can think of some funnier ways.
That's not bad.
What else? What else could we do? How do we connect your fat to Gaza? Go.
Yeah. Unlike you, Gaza is shrinking. All right, keep going. Move on.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
I will keep going. Yeah, they decided to try to pivot.
If you went over there, they'd have to have a 3-state solution.
There's something there.
Okay.
We'll meet.
Yeah. Kind of taken from one of my own jokes.
Sorry. That night was so rough. Shocker. I'm thinking about pausing doing stand up for the moment.
Wait.
Oh, they were the stand-up.
Wait, they were the stand-up and the audience
Wait, no,
never fat shamed them?
No, there's no way. Hold on. Fat shaming during...
That's brutal.
No. He's saying Cordell's saying I got fat shamed during someone's crowd work so hard.
They're not going
they're not a stand-up because they say during someone's crowd work.
So they're not going to go see stand-up.
Oh, they're not going to see stand-up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Listen, it's like if a comic...
But you can't sit that close, too. No, I'm saying, like, if you don't want to be...
Are you saying if you're fat, don't sit close to the stage? This is what you're saying?
I'm never going to be in the first 2 rows. No, my God, no. I'm going to
Clearly, these people have never seen the Nutty Professor.
Dark...
If you'd seen the Nutty Professor, you would know. You got it. You don't in the back. You got to be out of the
We got
light.
high right one night and watched the Nutty Professor, and it was so funny. It was so crazy how in that
It's
movie.
that it's not just like, oh, a big guy. It's like excessive. Like you're disgusting.
ruins the whole college because his fat butt.
Every time he stands up, the floor breaks.
Or that doesn't make sense physically.
yeah.
We're kidding around.
No, but
If a comic is making fat jokes, it just is. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
You're seeing a bad comic. So I'd say to you, it's like I totally understand your hesitation.
Totally.
But if you go see a better comic or a bigger one, go see a comic that
Go see a
cannot
fat comic.
that you can reclaim it by making fun of them. Go see Fluffy.
Come see us on the Downside Tour.
Come see
but
us on the
also
Downside Tour.
Also I would recommend just not sitting as close. Because I don't want to be a part of it. Not even the fat thing didn't even come in, but I don't want to be a part of crowd work to begin with, no matter what. So I would always just
Some
sit.
people want to be part of it.
I know, yeah.
They love it.
I'm sorry you went through that.
I'm sorry, that sucks.
And tell me who the comedian is, and
Yes.
I'll get back for you.
Yeah.
Somehow, I'll make them follow.
You really love
I miss it. It's been a while.
Fighting comedians.
I do, because we're broken. We're broken. The system's broken. We used to have comedy camaraderie, the community. We're a comedy community, and that got fractured, and then politically, and people started hobnobbing with politicians, and
Right.
there needs to be a reset. There needs to be a reset.
Needs to be a
It's got to be
reset.
talent focused, and it's got to be not cozying up to power. If you have Elon Musk open for you at your show or have your name on your shirt, you gotta go.
Yeah, that's a pretty good criteria.
Final segment.
You better count your blessings.
You're gonna count your blessings. My blessing, I'll bleep it if I'm not allowed to say, but I'm gonna film something next year. I'm gonna film the next special, and we were able to secure Talia Hall in Chicago.
Oh, because you were asking me about the Vic.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
asking about the Vic, and we were checking it out, and I think part of it simply was just like I was like, you got a special coming out there already. And
A lot of specials have already come out there, but I just to me it's a sign that it's
listen,
correct,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful space, but and I was seriously considering it. But then Talia Hall I was like, it was built like in the I think the late 1800s, and it used to be for political speeches, and it's just beautiful, big, and a big sea of people.
How big is that?
I think 650.
Uh-huh.
And so nothing's on sale yet, but I'm really excited. I wanted the venue to feel different. The last one was 100 seats, intimate, the Elysian.
It's different.
And this is going to feel fantastic.
The most recent one was the Elysian.
Yeah.
The YouTube one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they both could be YouTube ones. Who
Do you
knows?
know who you're or you don't know who you're recording it for yet?
No, I mean it depends who gets what and what deals, and who knows what networks exist.
Sure.
But I'm focusing on.
I like this, that it's just going to be one net. I want one company to own the whole world. Can we do that? I take all the
Please.
guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
I want to go there. I want one brand of bread across
Yeah.
the entire fucking thing.
It's Judaism.
It's really pretty intense, isn't it? Like the mergers and stuff.
It's bad.
It's the worst. It's so awful. It's awful for us. It's awful for our industry.
But
It's
you know
awful
what?
for consumers.
But you know what? We're in America, and it's sad, but it's the end of a lot of things.
Yes.
And maybe America being the Hollywood capital, maybe this is the end. And there's other countries with incredible art, and it might just be the end. We start making a bunch of slop, and you want to see a good movie, you're going to go see it. It's going to be out of South Korea, and it's like, maybe it's done. Maybe it's done. And
I think there's a good chance it is done. I really do.
Yeah, and not done like gone.
Done just like
kind of
we're in the
bad.
stages of it being.
Well, we were the
Slop.
dominant cultural power for decades, and now I don't think that's true anymore.
Yeah.
It's changing very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff from Asia is like much more popular and better.
And I think about how I go to these other countries, and I can make a lot of jokes about American culture in America, and they get it because they've consumed so much American culture. And you know what? Maybe it's time. I'll be the last one.
Yeah.
Let me get the last.
You're the last guy to do a world
I'm the
tour.
last guy,
Yeah.
and then now they'll be like, it's so much easier being a South Korean comic. I can go to America, talk about anything. Americans go there, they're like, what? So I'm very excited for that venue, and it's gonna be a really good special. And thank you to Ty, my producer, for checking out some of these venues and helping be my soundboard on a lot of this. Russell, what's your blessing?
My blessing is I have a car now, and it's been nice to just like take it places for like a quick. I have to go downtown real quick for just a quick errand.
Well,
Yeah.
how are you parking?
Take the car. Well, I happen to know that the place I was literally had to run in and pick something up. So it was like I just parked right in front of the place, put my flashers on, ran in and picked it up.
Incredible.
But just amazing to not have to like. That would have been a 55-minute commute on the subway, and instead it's like 25 minutes. You know, like it's so. That's been really nice.
What kind of car do you have?
It's you know you.
I don't know cars. I don't care about cars.
I just got one, and I don't even know cars, because we inherited it from someone who passed away. So it's
It's a
Toyota
hearse.
Camry.
So you're grateful
think-
for a dead man's car?
Dead woman's car. Yeah.
Sorry, that's very sexist of me.
Gosh.
Dead woman's
So were there
car.
dents in it?
No, they barely used it. You know. Anyways.
Russell.
What?
They did not die in the car.
Oh, I was
no, no,
making
no.
a women can't drive joke.
Oh, sorry. No.
You thought I was making a death joke.
No, I knew what joke you were
Okay,
making.
Thank
got
you.
it.
'Cause you're
But yeah, it's a
misogynist.
Toyota Camry, and
Because you have a cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more woman than man. I really am.
Hey. But yeah, it's nice, and I have a parking garage, so that's really
beautiful.
nice. 24 hours.
God, you're never going to leave this fucking apartment.
Oh yeah.
Move to
Anyways.
Dumbo. Kumail, what's your blessing?
I already mentioned her, but Biscuit, my new kitten,
Yeah.
I was really sad when my cat died. Truly the saddest I've been in my life, for sure. Because, I've lost all my grandparents, but I didn't live with them and kiss them on the head every day. They weren't a part of my daily life. Of course, I loved them and missed them, but when my cat went, every day, my life is now different, devastating. But now getting this new kitten, it's like the house is she's running around everywhere. There's a new person, I'm just so grateful. And she's genuinely a very loving cat. She's a very sweet, loving cat. So I'm grateful at how friendly she is.
If cats really were women, do you think they'd be like, don't get another cat after me? I'm your only cat.
I would say Emily is if anything happens to me, I want you to start dating immediately. Emily has Emily has said that to me. She's like, go
Immediately?
find someone.
Not my gal.
She's like, give it
I don't even know.
a
I'm
nice
just gonna have
7-year
to-
mourning period.
What's that movie where this woman, she's hit by a car? It's like a comedy, but she's against a tree, and she's like, don't date anyone after me. And he's like, I can't understand what you're saying.
That's
I think
really
it's one of the
funny.
scary
Talking about a scary movie. Yeah.
Scary
it's one of the
movie.
scary
Oh.
ones, yeah.
Kumail, where can people find you and watch the special?
Night Thoughts is now out on Hulu, Disney Plus, the rest of the world. I'm also in the new season of Fallout for a couple of episodes. So those
yeah.
are the things. Go watch.
You gonna do Broadway again, you think?
I would love to do Broadway again. I'd love to do a dramatic play. See what that's like. Really go through some shit in front of an audience. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody, bring me in.
Listen, if there's casting directors listening to this show,
Listen.
what the fuck's going on?
What's going on, guys?
You're just waiting for the guests?
Hey.
We're available.
Hey.
Russell, where can people find you?
At Russell J. Daniels on Instagram. I don't have anything to plug right now for
That's fine.
January 6th. Celebrate however you may, and hope you all have a good day.
Storming the Capitol isn't always wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll be on tour. I'll be all over Asia. Maybe some tickets available. Check it out. But please support the pod. It's only $5 a month. Patreon.com/downside. 4 bonus episodes every month. Thank you, Kumail. And thank you for watching at home. This is The Downside.
Downside.
That was a Headgum podcast.